One thing we know for sure is August 11th will be a much nicer day than today. Round of applause, good weather August 11th. I learned a long time ago that nothing great happens anywhere without great people who have great passion. I'm not even going to begin to talk to you about Unity Jam 2 without two ladies who taught me what enthusiasm and passion is all about. So Kirsty and Corinza, come on up here with me. I need you at my back.
We're behind you.
You're behind me all the way. My name's Russ Cox. I'm president and CEO of Norton Healthcare. We endeavor to live our mission at Norton Healthcare in such a way that we meet the needs of the entire community. I really appreciate the fans going off. That was a very nice touch, whoever did that. It's within that framework that it's my genuine pleasure to tell you that Unity Jam 2 will take place here at the Molly Leonard Portland Community Center on August 11th. And that's a round of applause, too. I challenged Kirsty and Corinza last year to not have Unity Jam just be something that was a one-time deal, or that was a flash in the pan, or just another thing that came and went. They made sure that it didn't happen. And because of that, we're going to be here on Saturday, August 11th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're going to have health screenings, wellness tips, demonstrations, of course, food, plenty of music. Who knows, they might even get me to dance again. And our aim this year is to top last year's event. It's not just good enough to have one that was as good as last year, but we want to have one that's so much better than last year's. I will tell you personally, from my perspective, I learned so much from Unity Jam last year, and it made a difference in how I view the world. I'll be very honest with you. I have not been to the Molly Leonard Portland Community Center, and I'm here today because of Unity Jam 2. What we hope that this Unity Jam does is bring the community together and bring the community to a place perhaps that they've never been before, and that together we begin to do what it says right here, break down barriers that stand in the way of good health. At Norton Healthcare, we absolutely want to do it that way. So you're going to hear from these two in just a few minutes, but we absolutely couldn't do this without great partners. We're really pleased that Passport Health is going to join us this year as an incredible sponsor, and what a great leader they are in setting an example for the rest of us at providing needs for the underserved residents of the 40211 and 40212 zip codes. We're also excited that we're going to be Passport's neighbor not too long from now when we open Norton Community Medical Associates opens primary care practice at the West End YMCA. Passport's going to be our neighbor there. We look forward to working together to bring much needed health care services to this part of the community. We also really appreciate Louisville Parks and Recreation for agreeing to host this year's event at this community center. We also want to thank iHeartRadio for returning as a media partner. They were huge last year in helping us communicate. And of course, Miller Transportation for once again donating the bus that we're going to be cramming with school supplies. One of the most heartwarming parts about Unity Jam last year were the hundreds of backpacks that were prepared for kids to start school with and start on the right foot. So we appreciate everybody that's helped us get to this point as well. As I said, Unity Jam is about how we build partnerships, how we work together, how we make a difference in the community. One of our best friends at Norton Healthcare, one of the best friends of the Unity Jam, one of the best friends of the city of Louisville is our mayor, Greg Fisher. He is always willing to do the right thing. He's always willing to step up and help us do the right thing, and he challenges us constantly. Now, he asks us for a whole lot of support and money, but we've gotten used to that, and we appreciate the passion by which he does that. So I'd like to, at this time, introduce the wonderful mayor of the city of Louisville and good friend of Norton Healthcare and good friend of mine, Mayor Greg Fisher.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you all for being here in Portland at the Molly Leonard Community Center. Molly was a tremendous leader for Louisville. She was the mother of Portland, more or less, and she would make sure that everybody kind of stayed in order, and if kid was walking down the street doing the wrong thing, like back in the good old days, she'd let them know they were doing the wrong thing. And then things got straightened out. So it's great that this community center is named after her, and lots of great stuff going on in Portland. This is also the site where we have the big annual toy giveaway during the Christmas holidays as well. So this building sees a lot of action. Speaking of action, we just wrapped up the Give a Day week of service yesterday. It was the last day of it. It's just grown into this phenomenal expression of our community's value of compassion and service to each other. Last year we set a world record for 180,000 volunteers and acts of compassion, and it looks like we're going to easily break that again this year, so that's good. It's a great reflection on our city. People talk about compassion now, and people don't look at you in a strange way. It's like, okay, that's our goal. We don't always meet it, but we're going to keep going for it. So great job for that. 4,000 volunteers, Scott, for the Kentucky Derby Festival. I want to thank you for being the chair of the Kentucky Derby Festival this year. It's a lot of work, so thank you on your behalf and Norton's behalf as well. Let's give it up over here. And he's not wearing the fuchsia jacket. If you haven't seen that yet, you ought to ask him to wear that to work for a day, so everybody can get in the Kentucky Derby Festival spirit. It truly is a special piece of clothing. Okay. But I think what we see with Norton's is, look, I'm at a lot of events with you guys, and we select that because you guys are champions for the city. For like the trifecta, since we're here in Derby time. It's compassion, it's lifelong learning, and it's health. And that's just what you guys do, and you step up. And Russ, you guys do it in an incredibly consistent way so that people expect that from you guys, and you exceed those expectations, whether it's with health or whether it's with the learning that you've got going on at your School at Work program at Norton. It's all very, very good. So I really appreciate that. And it's important because our city's going through a lot of change right now. We got a lot of momentum going on in our city in terms of all of the money that's being invested in our city, $13 billion, lots of jobs created. But it's important that everybody feels like they're along for the ride. No matter what their zip code is, no matter what their neighborhood is, if somebody's looking at all these wonderful things going on and is saying, where do I fit? They need to feel that they are part of the success of our city, because that means they're a part of the success of their community and their families as well. And obviously, if we're not healthy, we can't do that. Number one thing, take care of your own health so you can take care of other folks. And that's why we really appreciate the Unity Jam, the passionate excitement of our leaders, that you guys really bring it, whatever it is that you all do, and why it's important that it's here in Portland as well. We've got some social determinants of health that really disadvantage folks, that for whatever reason they're born into a certain situation and as opposed to a different part of town, and we've got 10 to 12 years life expectancy difference from the lowest to the highest part of our town, like every city in America. And so that speaks to some social determinants that we need to address short-term and long-term, but activities like the Unity Jam get everybody aware of what some of these issues are and get them back on track with the help of the community. So it's very, very important. Passport has stepped up in a big way, Dave. We talk about that. Passport's decision to locate at 18th and Broadway sent a strong signal to the community about equity and justice and health care. Norton's decision to locate a facility there is the same thing. So it's really important that people not just hear us, but they also see us. And at 18th and Broadway, with those decisions that you guys both made, people can see the commitment that our community has to health equity. So it's extraordinarily important, and Unity Jam is very important for us as well. So thanks again for stepping up and keeping this going. Thank you all. Great job.
Where are y'all going? As long as there's cameras here, you're going to be in the scene. Mayor Fisher mentioned Passport and what great partners there have been. They helped us so much last year with the Unity Jam. But what I liked best was they came to us and said, this really worked. This really brought people together. This is the right thing. How can we do more? So this year, they're stepping up as an ally sponsor. So we are very thankful for our friends at Passport. Jill, thank you for being here as well. And at this time, I'd like to introduce David Henley, their Vice President and Chief Compliance Officer. Let's give him a round of applause.
It is certainly an honor for us to be associated with the Unity Jam. We heard so much about what was happening in the community, and we wanted to be a part of it. Mr. Cox, let me thank you, thank your team for allowing us to partner with you. You know, Passport's values are integrity, stewardship, community, and collaboration. And it's community and collaboration that we really think are shown here. Our ability to work with such a renowned organization that is doing great things in the city is really what we need all throughout the city to be able to move forward. You heard about social determinants of health. We recognize that there are many more factors that affect a person's ability to be healthy, and we want to focus on that, and we're able to do that with this collaboration with the Unity Jam. As you've heard already, we're planning to relocate to 18th and Broadway, and we know that we probably won't be there until about the first quarter of 2020. But we don't want to wait until then to become part of the neighborhood. We want to start now being part of the neighborhood and doing what we can to help wherever we can. You see, at Passport, it's about people, purpose, passion. Putting people first, doing things to make sure that our purpose comes home, and acting with passion. People, purpose, passion. Remember those words, because we'll carry that going forward as we work with Norton Healthcare and the Unity Jam. Putting people first, being purpose-driven, and acting with passion. Again, thank you very much for allowing us to be a part of this Unity Jam. Thank you.
Ooh, this is quite intimidating. Hi, everyone. My name is Corinza Townsend. I serve as one of the co-leads for Synergy, our African-American employee resource group here at Norton Healthcare. And then I am accompanied by my awesome partner and co-lead, soon to be Dr. Kirsty Matzik. First and foremost, on behalf of Synergy, I'd like to thank, of course, Mayor Fisher, Portland Community Center, and our Passport Health Plan, and other champions that are helping out with the Unity Jam this year. It's definitely exciting. Unity Jam began as a Take Action project by Synergy, Norton Healthcare's employee resource group. We had a couple of them launch in 2014. Those would be our African Americans, women's, veterans, and our LGBTQ and allies. Also young professionals, Each group is open to any employee who wants to join. We're inclusive. When Synergy launched Unity Jam last year, our plan was driven by a needs assessment that shows the 40211 and 40212 zip codes in Jefferson County's system. They have the highest poverty rates. And so residents in these areas obviously face major health barriers. Our aim was to bring people together, promote healthier lifestyles, and to help those who need better access to health care and resources. By all measures, last year's event was great turnout, and so much more. Nearly 1,100 people representing 267 households attended. Our Outreach and Mobile Prevention Center provided 112 cardiovascular screenings, 8 mammograms, 3 colonoscopy referrals, and we did a pap smear as well that day. We delivered cancer prevention education to 150 adults and smoking education to about 190 adults and children as well. Nearly 3,000 lunches were given out. Some people who took meals home that day said that that was the only meal that they'd get for the day, so obviously that's a huge impact. We did 183 backpacks that were filled with all the JCPS requirements. They were stuffed well ahead of time, a lot of stuffing backpacks, and they were given out. Another 353 were distributed later after to the surrounding area codes as well. And then we had 42 exhibitors or vendors. We're excited this year's larger venue will definitely allow for more vendors, more guests, more resources. And so we'll be able to do a lot more and provide useful resources. So the only requirement for the vendors is that they give some type of educational takeaway, a pamphlet, educational service, or interactive demonstration or activity. One key, of course, to keeping the Uni Jam growing and fun is more fun. And so this year is a block party theme. Who doesn't love a block party? When's the last time you've been to a block party? So we're asking neighbors who live around the community center to sign a petition to help close the streets during the Uni Jam. So we have to have at least 51% signage of the neighborhood surrounding the 3 streets that we want to block off. So get that request started. We're going to sign a symbolic petition here to my right today to show our support for the Uni Jam. So if Kirsty, Mayor Fisher, our big boss Russ, and Passport would help us, we'd like to go ahead and start signing. And if anyone else here wants to help sign, we'd appreciate it.
So that will conclude the announcement for the Unity Jam, but we just wanted to remind everybody, please remember August the 11th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. If anyone has any suggestions on vendors, we're still looking for additional social services. And like Corinza said, the only ask that we're having those vendors is to make sure that they have a takeaway for the children and their parents, whether that be education or some sort of trinket. So that will conclude, but if you guys would like to be a part of the petition, we'd like for you to sign. Again, like Corinza said, we have to have 51% of this community. And so we also have some petitions available that we're leaving at the Portland Community Center here in the event that anyone knows anyone from this community or any neighbors around surrounding this area, that they're able to come to the Portland Community Center and sign the petition. All right, thank you.